Hello, Jake here. Today I wanted to walk you through the basics of Caret. So I'm going to walk you through the layout of the app, how it works, show you how to see your workflows, how to add integrations, and then we're going to create a workflow and run it and edit it all end to end. Okay, let's jump in. So first up, this is what you're going to see when you open up Caret after you've signed in, created an account. Of course, it'll be empty because you don't have these workflows created here yet, but you'll see a list of your existing workflows, if any. The first thing that you might want to do is add an integration. Caret is really powerful when you connect it to the different apps that we have available for you to connect to. So Google, Notion, Airtable, Intuit for QuickBooks, you can integrate all of these. For our demo today, we will be using Airtable specifically. I already have my integrations in here, so I don't need to add another one, but all I have to do is open the integrations tab, click add, and then you will have the integration available. Now, to create the workflow, we can click the create tab and it'll open up this chat interface with our workflow assistant. The way this works is you can chat and discuss the workflow with the assistant, and then when you are ready, we have the workflow defined enough, you click create and the assistant will create the workflow for you, no manual editing required. For this, I have a workflow prepped here that I'll want to demo here. We're going to create a workflow that accepts a URL as input, and then we want to scrape the name, company information, and contact info if available off of that website. And we're going to draft a cold email to that company. We're selling a window washing service hypothetically, and we want to store all this information in Airtable, and please link my Airtable. So I'm going to click send on that, and the assistant will then generate a response. It's searching for integrations and linking integrations. And here we've seen now that we have my Airtable integration added here. We can tell with the Airtable icon. And we get some further instructions from the assistant. It's asking, please let me know which Airtable base and table you want. And then if we want to provide any more guidance on how to map the fields, which we don't need to, thankfully. So I'm going to click the data button below, and that allows us to select the specific Airtable table we want to include. So this integrations and data interface is very similar regardless of which integration you're working with. In this case, we're working with Airtable. So actually, I'll give you a quick tour of that. In Airtable, I have a really simple kind of CRM demo set up. We have company name, contact name, company URL, email, and a cold email draft. So hypothetically, I'm selling some sort of window washing services to businesses in my area, and I want to be able to input their website and then get all of that information out and be ready to reach out to them. So I have connected my table in here now, and I'm just going to tell the assistant I've added the table, please go ahead and create the workflow now. It's all ready. Click submit on that, and we can see it's now starting to create the workflow, and it's going to pop up into this loading screen. This will think for just a few seconds here. Okay, it looks like the workflow just created successfully. It pulled us over into our workflows tab here. And now we can see we have the name of the workflow displayed up here. So it just creates a title for the workflow. Of course, it's very easy to edit that by clicking this icon over here. And then we have a few tabs running across the top. We can run the workflow. We can see a log of the workflows that have been run so far. And then we can also edit the workflow. We have a similar chat assistant here, and then we can actually see the diagram of the workflow itself. So we don't have to configure any of this manually. This is all done for us by the workflow assistant. And the last tab is we can share this workflow with colleagues or anyone else that we might be working with. So let's run this workflow. I have this link pulled up already. It's from an architecture firm near me in Denver. And I'm just going to provide that URL directly into the inputs. Click run once. And this will think for a second, and then it'll spin up and show us the workflow as it is running in real time. Okay, I had a little screen recording issue there, and I restarted the recording, and we have a new workflow running. This first one succeeded, but I wanted to complete the demo here. For this workflow, we have it in the running state now. We can actually see the steps execute in real time, crawling the website, parsing that website data, generating text using AI, and then looks like creating the record in Airtable just finished running. And with that, we can now open up in Airtable, and you can see this new record created, company name, the contact name, company URL, email, and then this cold email draft. So it says, hello, Jamie, and then talks about the window washing service. And of course, we'd have to make this a lot better if we were actually going to send this email. but I'm not in the window washing business, at least not yet. All right. So the last thing I want to highlight here then is you can edit the workflow. The way this works is you have a chat-like experience on the left-hand side, and you can see all of the edits being made on the right-hand side. And you can just talk with the assistant and ask it to make modifications, and it'll make those changes for you. You don't have to manually edit anything yourself. All right, that's a quick end-to-end overview of getting started in Caret and creating your first workflow. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good day. Bye.